Welcome back to my comfort food series for the entire family, Weight Watchers friendly. Tonight we are going to make 2-ingredient dough miniature calzones that we will fry in our air fryer, and then we are going to serve that with a side salad. So here is what is in our comfort food video number 4, miniature calzones and salad. So the first thing is the self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising flour, you can use regular flour. You just need to add your leveling agent, so your baking powder and your baking soda. And then non-fat Greek yogurt. I prefer the YVETTE brand just because there's no water. It's very thick and easy to make the dough. The dough doesn't become extremely sticky. And then for the inside of the calzone, we are going to do pretty simple because they are small, so we can't overfill them with ingredients. We are going to have sliced olives, oregano, turkey pepperoni. This is the crock pot marinara. It is 0 points, you guys. I will link the video above here on my meal prep that I showed how to prepare this. Definitely save yourself the points on your marinara for pizzas, calzones, spaghetti, you name it. And then, of course, the love of my life, the light shredded mozzarella from Trader Joe's. And then I'm going to put in some cremini mushrooms and some red onion. And then for our salad tonight, we're gonna do a pretty easy mix. This is even a mix that the kids won't mind because all it is lettuce, a little bit of red cabbage, and some carrots. And we are going to have that with some bacon bits, some ranch dressing. We may do croutons, and then I will top it with just a tiny bit of the light shredded mozzarella. So here is our mini calzones with the side salad. Let's get started on dinner. So the first thing we're going to do for our calzones is prepare our dough. So I have measured out 1.5 cups of the self-rising flour. So just kind of a heads up, a 1/4 cup is typically a serving or what you would make a bagel or some other version of the 2-ingredient dough out of. So this is essentially 6 servings. 6 different servings at 3 smart points per serving. So a total of 18 points for all of the dough that I am preparing. And then I'm also going to add in my YVETTE yogurt, and I'm going to do the same amount, about 1.5 cups of that. I typically won't measure the yogurt. It is 0 smart points. And sometimes I feel like you need more yogurt. Sometimes I feel like you need less because the dough becomes sticky. So you just kind of have to do it by the consistency of the dough. So you're basically just going to mix this together and create a dough ball. And then we will roll that out and create our calzones. Typically what I end up doing is once I mix it with my spoon, I will pull it out and just knead it with my hands. You want to make sure that you get that flour incorporated into your dough. And you also want to make sure that your dough isn't really sticky. And if your dough is sticky, you definitely need to add some more flour. That is why I like to add my Greek yogurt in small amounts so that I'm not adding more flour, thus adding more points. So this dough feels pretty good. This is the amount that the 1.5 cups of the dough and yogurt made. So that's a good size, especially for smaller calzones. And then we're gonna roll this out on our countertop with some flour. So I have floured my counter, and then I'm going to just add a little bit of flour here to my rolling pin as well. And then we're gonna roll this out. And you can roll this out to whatever consistency or thickness that, thickness that you would like it to be for whatever you're making. So people make bagels out of this, donuts, pizza crusts, oh gosh, what else? Oh, like apple turnovers. You name it, you can pretty much make anything you want out of the dough. So I'm just gonna roll this out fairly thin. And as you can see, my dough is not sticking to my rolling pin. So that's really good. That means that I have the right amount of flour versus Greek yogurt. So I'm gonna again roll mine out fairly thin because I am gonna wanna make calzones that end up having a crispier crust in my air fryer. So there is my dough. That is how I have laid it out. It is pretty thin. And then we will go ahead and cut it into equal sections, roll that back up and re-roll that out. So I'm going to cut this into some equal sections. I think I want to make about 6 calzones out of my dough, 6 like mini calzones. So as you can see, I have cut the dough making just smaller sections. And then those sections I will re-roll out for the actual calzone itself. But that should be perfect. Each calzone should be about the same size. So we'll reflour our counter and then we'll re-roll out our smaller balls of dough. All right, so I have my smaller balls of dough, and then I'm just, again, going to flour my rolling pin, and then I'm just essentially gonna roll these out into a little bit smaller pieces, and that way I can make the individual calzones. So if you wanted to make a whole pizza, you could have just left that big sheet and rolled that to any shape you wanted. Another thing I saw recently is that people, too, have been making flatbread out of the dough, so you could roll it in sort of a rectangle shape and make a super awesome flatbread for a really, really low point value. So there you have it. There is my rolled out dough. So that's about the size that I'm going to make all my calzones. So I'm going to get the rest of my dough rolled out before we fill them. All right, we're ready to make our calzone. So I have my first three pieces of my dough. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is add some of our marinara, and be careful on the amount you guys add of any type of pizza sauce to any type of 2-ingredient dough or dough in general. If you add too much, it makes it soggy. No matter what you do, no matter how you try to prevent it, it makes it soggy. So really you only need enough to help your toppings stick, as well as give it that little bit of tomato flavor. So this is about all of the marinara that I'm going to add to my calzones. And then the first thing I'm going to do is add my turkey pepperoni. Now, we don't want to go too crazy on the toppings as well in our calzones, because we are going to have to try to fold these up into some shape resembling a calzone. So I can't make any promises. This is the first time I've actually made the mini calzones. So I'm putting about 6 pieces of the turkey pepperoni on each little mini calzone. And a serving of the turkey pepperoni is 17 slices. So that's not too bad, about 6 per calzone. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I did dice up some red onions. So we're just going to sprinkle a few red onions on each little calzone. Not too many, of course. Again, watch your toppings too, because too many toppings can make it hard to roll it up. So there is our onions. And then I also have some of those Trader Joe's cremini mushrooms. So I'm going to just break them up into smaller pieces. It just makes it a little bit easier to add to the calzone. And again, to be able to roll that calzone up and make it in that shape. So we'll add a couple of broken cremini mushrooms to each calzone. So you can see I've just added a few pieces. And then we are going to add some olives. So again, if we add just a couple of olives, we will have 0 additional points. So that is what I'm going to do, is just add, I don't know, about 6 halves of olives to each of the calzones. So again, not enough to equate to any points. And then we are going to then add our light mozzarella, and 1 ounce of the Trader Joe's light mozzarella is 1 point. So we are essentially putting about half of an ounce on each calzone. So again, not even going to equal an entire point worth of cheese. My gosh, you guys, these look so good. And then I always like to sprinkle a little bit of oregano onto my calzone. I just think that that adds that little bit of Italian flavoring. And then I normally will sprinkle it as well on top. So there you have it. So I'm going to kind of push down to the end here. Now I'm going to try to make this into some resemblance of a calzone. So I'm going to fold that over and see how I kind of did that. And if you notice, I'll show you this one. I didn't put the toppings all the way to the edge on purpose. So that actually allows me some dough to kind of pinch together to create the mini calzone. So not going to probably be the prettiest, so I apologize in advance for that, but they should taste amazing. So I went ahead and just pinched together my dough the best that I could. And once it cooks, you guys, all the toppings aren't going to spew out no matter what. So there you have it. There is one mini calzone, and we will get finished doing these. So again, tip 1, do not add too much marinara to your dough because it will become soggy. Tip number 2, watch the amount of toppings that you add. And this is to any pizza even. Even if you're using like the Joseph pitas or the 2-ingredient dough, if you add too many toppings, your pizza becomes really heavy. And then it's really hard to eat it without just slicing it with a fork. You can't actually pick it up and eat it like you may want to do. And then tip number 3 is keep your sauce and toppings about an inch. I guess a half of an inch would do, but a half an inch to an inch away from the edge so that you can have a surface to roll of the dough to pinch and create, especially if you're making a calzone. Same goes with pizza. All pizza has a crust, so make sure that you leave a little room even if you are creating a pizza so that you can have an actual crust to pick up and hold. So there you have it. There's 3 of the 6 mini calzones. I'll go ahead and finish the others and we'll get these in the air fryer. All right, and there we have our finished calzone. So the last step in the process is to go ahead and spray the top of these with a little bit of cooking spray, and that will just help them brown a little bit better in the air fryer. And then once again, I am going to add just a little bit of oregano to the top of it. Makes it look like a calzone from a pizzeria. So makes it look all authentic, even though these are very Weight Watchers friendly. I will post the points on the screen at the very end for you. And there you have it. We're going to get these little guys in the air fryer. Here is our calzones about to go into the air fryer. If you do not have an air fryer, no fear, you guys. You can just cook these in the oven at about 400 degrees, and they will just still get nice and crispy. But tonight I'm going to use the air fryer because I have it. I love it. It's easy, and it really makes everything so crispy and delicious. So we're going to get our salads put together so that they're ready when our calzones come out of the air fryer. So I'm going to use my Trader Joe's salad mix that I absolutely love. I will post a link above for my most recent Trader Joe's haul where I purchased this lettuce. I love it because it, like I said, is great for the family because all that is in here is lettuce. This is similar to purple cabbage, so your kids wouldn't even blink an eye about eating that. And then just some shredded carrots at the very bottom. You do kind of have to work for those shredded carrots, so make sure that you are kind of digging down to the bottom of your bag. Because look, as you can see, they're all stuck at the bottom. So I do typically add a few of the shredded carrots from the bottom to each salad. And I have said in previous videos that these bags of lettuce here, they make about 3 salads in this size of a bowl. So not bad. So you can feed a family of 3. And I want to say the lettuce, you guys, is like $1.99. So much cheaper than the regular grocery store. So I have my lettuce in both of my bowls. I did have some leftover sliced olives from the pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and put olives on our salad as well. And we'll kind of tie into our Italian theme. I'm going to just put a small amount on mine so that I only have to count a small amount of points between the calzone and the salad. All right, we're also going to add some bacon bits, and I typically will put 1 point's worth, which is about a tablespoon. So we'll add 1 point's worth of bacon bits per salad. So about a tablespoon. And that kind of gives it a really good kind of smoky flavor with the bacon. And then I did decide to go ahead and add croutons. So these croutons, you can have 6 of them for 1 smart point. So I'm going to go ahead and add 6 of those to each of our salads. And these croutons are really good. These are just the Kroger brand or the Fred Meyer brand. And they're actually really good and really, really inexpensive. So there are our croutons on our salad. And then the last thing we are going to add is our Trader Joe's light mozzarella. And again, I'm not even going to put enough on the salad to equal a point. But I am going to count the cheese as a point between what was in my salad and what was in the calzone. Same goes with the olives. So I am going to count a point for the cheese and the olives, and that will be added to the grand total at the end. So there are our salads. I will sprinkle a little pepper on top before we eat, and we will add some Bolthouse Classic Ranch. Oh my goodness, look at these calzones. These things look so delicious. So this is the completed calzone out of the air fryer. I probably could have taken them out a little bit earlier. They look a little dark, but I also wanted to make sure that the dough was completely cooked through. So this is what the calzones look like. Let's plate up our dinner and then I will give you all of the points. All right, and here is our comfort food for the family dinner. There is our amazing air-fried turkey pepperoni miniature calzone, our side salad with our Boathouse Ranch, and then I'm going to have a vanilla Coke Zero on the side. All of the points for Smart Points, Classic Points, and Points Plus will be on the screen. If this isn't comfort food, I don't know what is. Thank you for joining me in my video number 4, comfort food for the family. I hope you enjoyed watching the 2-ingredient dough calzones and side salad. I am going to have a quick dessert, and I have shown this in a previous comfort food video, but this is 1/2 a cup of the cookies and cream halo top and 1 of the fudge dipped cones. I will list the points values on the screen here, but that is going to round out my food. I am no longer eating past 6 p.m. so that I have that little bit of a fast. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, join my YouTube family and hit the subscribe button. Give that video a thumbs up if you liked it, and comment below with any ideas you have for future comfort food for the family videos. Thank you for spending your evening with me, and I will see you in my next video.